Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3D Models, and this is where we left it off. Alright, let's deal with this part first. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to come in and I'm going to give this some edge loops. So Control R, left click, right click, Control R, left click, right click. Doesn't really matter how many you give, doesn't matter if they're even or anything like that. Control R, left click, right click. All we're going to do and use them for is to make sure that we mesh, transform, randomize, turn this down all the way, like so, maybe to here, something like that. And I think actually that's going to look perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, press Control L, link materials, like so. Now what I can do is I can come in, grab it all, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press U, Smart UV Project, click OK, and there we go. Easy as that. Now let's come in and what we'll do is we'll actually apply this bevel. So Control A. Let's bring this now into place where it's going to go. And it hopefully should fit really nicely into place. And you can see there, if I just bring it out like so, that's actually fitting in pretty nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back. So I'm going to press Shift D again, drop it all the way back like so, and put it into place where my actual door is going to be. So somewhere like there, I think, is nice because we don't want it too far back, where if you're taking a video, an image of this, you're not going to see the door. So you want it close enough, but far enough back where you can actually see it. The other thing is you don't want these to be all the same. So I'm going to click on this one, press A, go over to shading. So over to the shading panel. Let's press dot to zoom into it. Let's grab all of these, G and X, and just move them to the side. And then that'll make them all look different from the other ones, including the top ones. Very easy. Okay, so now let's think about the back bit. So we'll do the back bit first. So on your shading, asset manager, you should have, if we go to here, user library, come down to materials, we have one that says, we actually haven't got one that says black. So actually, we'll make our own. So what I'll do is I'll come in, add a material, new, and what I'll do is I'll keep it on the principled, put it onto black, so all the way onto black. And you can see that we still got a lot of shine on there. But if we turn down this roughness or up this roughness, turn up the metallic, you'll see it ends up near enough pitch black. So really black. That's what we want. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this, Control A, all transforms, set origin to geometry. I'm going to bring it all the way back into place, just behind. If I go in here. Now if you can't go in your building, press 5 on your number pad. And that will either stop you going in your building, so you only go around the outside, or it will allow you to go into your building like so. So I'm just going to go into my building, pull these back down to there, like so, and you should end up with something like this, which is exactly what I want. Okay, now let's figure out our door. So we're going to come in now and fix our door. So what I'm going to do is just move my guy to the side. I'm going to come into my door. I'm going to press Control R, 2, 3, or 4. Let's think about maybe 3 on this one, or maybe 4. Yes, let's go for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, mark a scene. I'm going to press Control R, bring in a few edge loops, left click, right click. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to separate these out. So I'm going to come in, L, in face select, Y, G, make sure they're separated like so. And then what I'm going to do is grab them all. I'm going to come in now, mesh, transform, and we're going to come down to randomize, bring this down like we always do. Maybe 0.1, I think will be better on this one. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is E, pull them out like so. And then I'm finally going to give it a bevel. So Control A, all transforms, right clicks origin to geometry. And we're going to come in and add in a bevel. Bring it all the way down, turn it up 1. And there you go. Simple as that for an actual door. Now the actual doors, I'm actually going to use the plank wood just to make them look, so this wood here, just to make them look a little bit different. The other thing is, with this door, we don't need to worry really about the tops and bottoms, so we can keep those exactly the same. What I normally tend to do though is, I tend to come into the bottom, and what I'll do is I'll just lift it up, and on this side I might lift it up and rotate it. So, whoops, sorry, actually extruded that, didn't mean to. So our X, rotate it round, and then it just adds a little bit of something onto the bottom. You basically you want to create as much variation in your models as possible, because the eye really picks up on things like that, even though it might not be obvious. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's actually bring in a material. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my door, grab my planks, press Ctrl L, link materials, and then let's come in to just the door, tab A, and then let's press U, Smart UV project, click OK, and there we go. There's your door done, as easy as that. Now the next thing that I want to do is I also want to create a handle on here, and I might as well create a handle on this one, because then I can use it for my my other build. In other words, my other door, what's going to go on here. So I might as well actually create that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press Shift S, cursor selected, while my guide's here basically. Shift A, let's bring in a curve, and we're going to bring in a path. We're going to spin that round then, so RY 90. I'm going to make it much smaller, and then I'm going to pull it out like so. So we can see, we can't really see a lot of this at the moment. What we need to do first is we need to make sure that we're going to use this curve and bring it and turn it into mesh. So what I'm going to do is when you bring in a curve, you will notice on the right hand side, you've actually now got a curve option. So come into your curve option, go to geometry, and the one we want is the depth. We want to turn this depth up because that is going to give us what we actually want. So you can see now we've actually got our curve, and we can actually manipulate this while it's actually got the depth actually turned up. So if I bring my little guy over, I can see now that this probably going to be a bit big for a door. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, like so. I'm going to put it near enough in his hand, and now you can see probably be around that actual size. So that's actually quite nice. The other thing is we need to fill caps. So let's fill the caps. Also, we'll end up with emptiness on there. We don't really want that. And then what we need to do is we want to bend it out. So what I'm going to do is just put this proportion editing on, Shift spacebar to bring in the move tool, and then just bring it out. So bring it in and just bend it like so. And there we go. Got a bit of a door handle nearly done now. Now the other thing with the door handle, what you can do is, because you've got a curve, you can actually come into this part, press Alt S, and what you can do is you can actually make it thicker or thinner on these actual parts. In other words, if I come in and press S, you'll see it just shrinks it all. But if you press Alt S, you actually just shrink this part here, which is sometimes really handy to make a really nice looking, you know, door handle or something like that. Okay, so now I've got that. I'm happy with how this looks. Now what I want to do is, the first thing is, I want to turn down the number of resolutions, because at the moment, I don't think you can see actually. Yeah, you can see how many resolutions this is at the moment. Way too much. We don't want that. So if we turn this down, look, you'll see it starts turning down. And now you can see it's got enough resolutions in to work with just on 2 without all of those. Okay, so let's turn this back onto object mode. You can see it's done nothing really to the shape of it or anything like that. I'm just looking around here, making sure that should be still okay. I think it will be. I think I'm going to just turn it up one more, like so. And then what I'm going to do now is same procedure, object, convert, mesh, and there we go. Now we've got our actual door handle, and if I press tab, there is our door. Now the one problem you might have is that these on top, the way that it fills in the caps, not ideal. In fact, it's not ideal at all, because I actually wanted to use these to create some tops on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, grab this edge, delete faces, and I'm also going to do the same thing on the other one. So this edge, so I'm going to control click, delete faces, and then I'm going to come in and just fill these in. So Alt Shift click F, and then the same on this one. In fact, I'll also add a sharp while I'm here. Right click, mark sharp. And then we'll do the same thing on this one. Alt Shift click F, right click, mark sharp. All right, so now right click, shade auto smooth. This is what we're left with. Now you can see we do have some issues in here, in that these aren't rounded up enough. If you come over here though to the little triangle, come to normal, you will be able to turn that up and actually get rid of those just with a slight bit on there. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to bring up these parts. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to make sure I'm on face select, grab both of these. So this one here, face select, this one, and this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert, so I, insert, and then E, enter, S, Z, pull it out. But make sure proportion editing is not on. So S and Z, pull it out, and then pull them over to the side like so. And finally, I'm just going to press Alt S. Yeah, I can't press Alt S, so what I'll do is I'll come up, put it onto individual origins, and S, and then I can actually make it smaller like so. Now finally, what I want to do is I need something to hold this handle onto the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and Alt Shift click and Alt Shift click. I've got 2 gaps there and only and 3 gaps here, and I actually think that's going to look better rather than making it really uniform. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press E for extrude and enter without moving my mouse button, and then I'm going to press Alt and S, and I should be able to pull those out like so, and that's looking pretty good. And now finally, if I come around this side, I should be able to grab both of these, so all of these, maybe from here actually. So we'll grab 4 of them, and then what we'll do is we'll press E and pull it along let's have a look, the X-axis like so. And there we go. There is your, near enough, your door handle. Now I think it's easier if we don't have these so rounded, because it's easier to pull them in and make sure that there's no gaps. So I'll just press is S and X while I've got those and just flatten them out. So S and X again, flatten them out like so. And there we go. Really, really nice. Okay, on the next one then, what we'll do is we'll finish with the actual door handle where it goes onto our door. We'll actually get this door in place. And finally, we'll just put some wooden parts around here and make sure this has got a ceiling on it. Because at the moment, it has no ceiling. And we're just going to probably take the floor. Oh yeah, it has. It actually did because we extruded it out. So it has a ceiling on. It just needs some wooden parts in the corners here just to finish it off. And they're easy enough to get in. Finally, then we can actually make a start, I think, on building this part out a little bit. Before putting this roof on. I'm going to save out my work, and I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.